Well, joining me now, current IBF super middleweight title holder, Caleb Plant. So let's get down to it. After Canelo Alvarez recently became the unified middleweight champion, he shifted his focus quickly to you, Caleb. He wants to fight you next. This is no surprise. You've wanted to fight him. So right now, what are your two teams doing to make this fight happen?
Yeah, this is there's never been an undisputed super middleweight. For a super middleweight to hold all four world titles at the same time. So I feel like our teams are going to sit down here real soon and try to get it worked out, not only for me and him, but like you said, for the fans as well, because it's not just a fight that we want, but I know it's a fight that the fans want too.
What needs to happen to get it done? I know that I had read some articles. You want 10 million. Is that the number?
I feel like Danny Jacobs, he got 10 million. I'm a bigger fighter than him. I'm a better fighter than him. I bring in a lot more views than he ever has, and I'm a world champion as well. And with those things being said, if he can get 10 million, then even though hold those things over him, I feel like I at least deserve that. So, but again, our two teams will sit down here real soon, and they'll get it worked out.
So, Caleb, you broke your hand in that win over Caleb Truex back in January. How is that going? How's the recovery? Is it healed? And when do you plan to get training again?
Well, fortunately, fortunately enough, it wasn't broken. So,
Oh, perfect.
but I had to get, over time there was some scar tissue that developed, and they had to make a small incision to get that out of there.
Hmm.
And so, it's healing up. I'm in the gym working. I'm hitting things, and I'm feeling in great shape. So, there's a decent amount of time from now till September to continue to work, and that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah, you guys are focused on September. I know that's the date that's being talked about. It's also being talked about happening in Dallas at Cowboys Stadium. Why would that be the perfect kind of arena for this fight?
Well, I know that Texas is one of those spots, and it's a hot spot right now because I feel like they're pretty much free and clear and open, and people are able to move around how they please. But so is Vegas. We got the MGM, and we have Allegiant Stadium here. There's never been a boxing match at the new stadium, so that'd be part of history too, to be the first huge boxing match or boxing match period to be there.
Caleb, you've always had a chip on your shoulder, and that's what makes you you, and that's what makes you different. For you, making this fight happen, why is that important? And do you feel like if you could get this fight, you would silence some of those doubters?
Yeah, boxing has been my whole life, and it's something that I've dedicated my whole life to. I've sacrificed a lot for this, and anyone who's been halfway serious about lacing up a pair of boxing gloves, that's been their goal, is to be in the biggest boxing matches of their generation, to become undisputed, to become pound for pound, and I have a chance to do all those things in one fight, and I'm not going in with the mentality that I'm just happy to be here or just happy to be a part. That was never my mentality. That's never how I'm thinking. So I'm going in with a winning attitude, and I'm fully locked in.
If, and let's just say when this fight happens, what challenges does Canelo pose as a fighter that you maybe haven't seen in some of your other opponents in the ring?
Well, he does have a lot of experience, and he's got a lot of experience um, at this high level. I know he's got like 56 fights, but if we're being honest, those first 40 were probably in Mexico. And a lot of times we send people down there to get wins who can't get wins here. And when he was down there fighting those guys, I was fighting better competition than the amateurs, being on Team USA, being a Gold Glove national champion, being an Olympic alternate. So, but in some of these biggest fights, whether it was against Floyd, whether it was against Lara, whether it was against Triple G, if we're being honest, he's 1-3 in those fights. He lost to Floyd, he lost to Lara, and he lost the first Triple G fight as well. And he's got two draws, and he's been hurt before too. So, a lot of people, when they think about this fight, they think of the name, but I'm not fighting the name. I'm fighting the man, and the man is human, and he bleeds all, like the rest of us. So.
How do you keep the your own individual motivation, Caleb, and never kind of go down a notch? Because it feels like you're always at this steady level where you're not letting anything get in the way, and you're always kind of bringing the intensity, training for each and every fight. I mean, how do you keep so level headed?
I'm just focused. You know, I know what I want out of life. I've known that I've wanted this since I was, a kid. I didn't want to be an astronaut. I didn't want to be, a scientist. I wanted to be a champion of the world. And but being champion of the world, I've said this so many times, was a goal. It wasn't the goal, and I'm still far away from what I really want, and that's becoming undisputed. That's becoming pound for pound, and so I know how far away I am from that, and I know the amount of intensity and focus that it takes to get there, and I'm gonna keep it until I get there. And then once I get there, I'm gonna keep it as well. So
I know that you're always listening to the chatter. David Benavidez already, giving his opinion on what he thinks about this fight and how he's not giving you a shot. How fun is it just to like get all that inside you and build that chip even bigger?
yeah. Well, as far as concerning David Benavidez, he doesn't give me a shot, but he's on the sidelines because he has no shot because he doesn't have a world title because he lost it the first time to cocaine and then he got it back and then he lost it again on the scales. So it's easy to talk from the sidelines about what's going to happen or what's going to happen, but when it comes down to being a man and holding up my end of the deal in the bargain and making sure I carry myself as a professional and do the things that I have to do to remain a world champion so that when big opportunities come along, I can take advantage of them. Clearly that's something that he doesn't know anything about. And so when you're in that position, it's easy to talk about those who are doing that.
Well, Caleb, you have all the fans here in the world right here in Middle Tennessee looking forward to making this fight happen between you and Canelo Alvarez. Thanks for your time, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.